talking about the increasing need for home and community-based services. What we do know today, 10,000 people turn 65 years old today. And that will happen for the next 15 years as the baby boomers come. The aging of America. The American Community Survey says that 13% was age 65 and over, and that's going to expect it to grow to 55 million in just 8 years. Real quickly, in Tennessee, 817,000 people are 65 over as of last year, and in another 12 years, that's going to be over 11 million. Not only are we getting older, we're getting sicker. None of us wakes up and as we grow older said that we want to spend the last few years in a nursing home facility. I don't think anybody has said that's our plan. If you think about it, only 3% of us have purchased long-term care insurance. But think about individuals who have spent years building up their assets, now face the choice of depleting those assets or paying for expensive long-term care services. You've heard of all the horror stories of people who have had to sell their home to pay for long-term care. That's only going to happen more. Long-term care, just the importance of it. 70% of the people reaching age 65 will need financial assistance paying for long-term care. Persons affected by age-related frailty or by disability are going to need home and community-based service because it's much more desirable than a long-term nursing home placement. And as the baby boomers increase, there go that 10,000 people turn 65 today, Medicaid funding long-term care increases proportionally. It's just not happening. There's not enough money to care for us. Home and community-based services are generally less costly than nursing home care. Here in 2011, it cost about $78,000 for a 12-month, 365-day stay in a nursing home care. $41,000 for assisted living. And it only takes about $15,000 to $13,000 in Tennessee to do that same thing for 365 days a year. That's why home and community-based services is so important. Now we have the new program called Money Follows the Person, and it's designed to allow states to develop strategies for eligible nursing home residents. He was eligible as they transition from institutional care to home-based care. But Tennessee is one of 13 states who receive funding for this. So there's Money Follow the Person. Again, it's one of those that if you don't know how to respond to it. And so as an advocate, and I want to go back to Gordon Bonneman this morning, as you have clients who are able to, one, they desire to stay in their community, two, are physically able with the little home and community-based service help. If it's a meal a day, if it's an hour or two of homemaker service, if it's personal care, bathing or any of those things, one is more cost effective, two is more desirable, and three, the money can now follow that person to wherever they go.
Okay, let's talk about transportation. What MTA has done is implement a travel trainer program. So if you're an elderly person or a group of elderly people or a senior center, you can call and say, come teach us how to ride the bus. They will come, and she'll talk about it, and they'll bring a bus, 50-passenger bus. And they'll say, okay, where does everybody want to go? Well, we want to go to Walmart. So everybody gets on the bus, and they talk about how to get on the bus, where to sit, what the little cord is for. The buses all make announcement of stops. They ride to the destination. They do some shopping. They get on. They ride back, all with this travel trainer. Now they feel more comfortable because they've done it once. So I mean, this kind of a program is a great model program. I personally think it ought to be done way more often. The other advantage to this is if you're a person 60 years old and over and you go through this travel training one way or the other, they'll give you a free 31-day pass. And you may have heard it called the silver tsunami tidal wave. It's not really that. It's just slowly rising up fairly quickly and pretty soon we're going to be chest deep in seniors. So who's going to provide this? Who's going to provide this? It's possible that certification of in-home workers could raise everything and could raise the cost of, but no matter how, I personally believe, no matter how much that would raise the cost, it's never going to approach the cost of institutional care. It's never going to approach the cost of institutional care. It's always going to be cheaper to keep people at home. Your job is to help that person out there live a quality of life as long as they can in their home. So if that means dialing the number for them for AmeriGroup and saying, you know, Mrs. I'm-so, she's here, we need to talk to her caseworker, I will certify that she needs another hour, here she is. Okay? She's the one contacting her. And also, if you put it in your case notes enough, somebody will probably may say to you, quit putting that in the case notes every time you go visit. And you say, well, you know, that is true every time I go visit. So anyway, that's there are some resources, so you can have that list of resources. The other thing is that 255-1010 number for Middle Tennessee is a magic number. I mean, you really need to remember that number. Thank you, folks. Yes.